Good evening. This is the Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for April the 8th, 2021. I don't have any tree permit or right-of-way issues, and so we'll go straight to item 2, Title 37, landscape ordinance issues. We have two here, Tyler Park and Kershaw Greens. We have received some revised plans. I don't personally have any particular questions about these, but I'd like to invite questions from the commissioners to the representatives. We've got Mark Schreiber, and I know Chuck Garvick is also here as well. And you both answered questions last time on this. I felt that you'd actually managed to add a substantial number of trees to these plans, and I would commend you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we found just about every little square foot, and thanks to your bending the regulations a little bit relative to 15 to 30 feet, I think that helped a bit.
Yeah.
David, I don't have any questions.
Thank you, David.
Did Roxanne bring up an issue about miscounting the black gums or something?
Yeah.
She would speak for herself, so I didn't reread her email.
Okay. That was what I was actually busy with, because I think what has happened here is she has mixed up the two plans, because in the comment that she made was and this was about Kershaw Green. All the trees are shown on the map, but I think there's a mistake. They report 9 black gum and 18 hornbeam. On the map, they have 18 black gum and 9 hornbeam. But if you go to the Tyler Park one, I think that's where you find the 18 and the 9. And so I think she may have got the two plans switched over at some point. So I think that was what was going on there. So I found the correct number when I was looking at them. At least I think I did. But there's an awful lot of stuff on these plans.
There's a lot of stuff on these plans.
Yeah. See, I don't know if you caught that, Mark, but there was a question about the numbers of and whether the symbols were actually correct. And I guess I'm going to share my screen with the Kershaw Green one now. And I think one of the questions that, let me bring up Roxanne's email. What she said was that she was questioning whether the symbols for the black gum and the hornbeam had been switched.
Reversed.
Yeah. And so we're showing the black gum as NS, and within the parking lot there are, I think, 3 of them. And but as I say, I think what may have happened was she got the two plans mixed up
on it.
Yeah, because if I look at the Tyler Park one, what I see there is that you've got 18 of the hornbeam and 9 of the Sylvatia, of the black gum.
Correct.
So that's why I think she may have got the two plans mixed up. But that was the only question I think that was raised about these plans.
Good.
So, is there anything in addition you want to tell us about at all, Mark or Chuck?
I don't really have anything other than I think we've got quite a bit packed in there.
Yeah.
Filling in those spaces and providing that space between filled in that space between the detention pond, the existing pond, and the buildings.
Yep.
And really ended up buying a minimal of trees off-site. So I thought we'd kind of listened to you last time and met what I hope you were looking for. We still managed to leave a little open area.
Yeah.
Down at the base.
Yeah.
For a little recreation area.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Yeah. Okay, so my question next is to the Tree Commission members. Do we want to vote on these two as separate developments, or are we happy just doing combined votes? There will have to be a separate vote on whether or not we allow for the tree banking. And again, that could be just a combined vote on the two properties. So Jim and David and Emily, do you have any thoughts on this?
I have no objection to combining them.
Okay. David?
Yeah, that's fine with me also.
Okay. I'm not sure if Emily can speak. I don't see her with a microphone on here. So I'm going to have to just rely on you two, I think, to be... This is a little bit awkward because I need a 2/3 vote. Let me just check again.
Well, she could hear you. Maybe she could go through the chat line.
Yeah, that's the point. Emily, are you able to put a comment into the chat for me? Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. So we have essentially four of us present. That's me, David Tinkoff, and Jim Dyer, and Emily. 2/3 of four is three of us. So as long as at least three of us vote in favour of allowing the tree banking, we are meeting our requirements. And just to remind you, if I can find the policy, thought I had it there. Yeah, there it is. The policy is that we do have to have a supermajority, 2/3 of eligible to vote, and there has to be a reason that they can't manage to fit all the trees on here. That they should be planting in order for us to give permission for these to be banked. And we have allowed as many trees as possible to be planted closer together. And so I think we're meeting that particular requirement. And so I think that I am in favour of allowing the tree banking. I don't know if David or Jim, you want to speak or just say that you approve of it.
Yeah, this is David Sinkoff, and I would approve of that also.
Okay.
I approve as well.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. And Emily, if you can put a comment in the chat, I would appreciate it. But we do have the majority we need, the 2/3 majority of allowing the tree banking to be done. So I guess we go back now to the combined plans. The plans appear to be meeting what we want. And for this, we just need a simple majority. Again, David and Jim, what are your thoughts on giving approval to these plans?
I approve these plans. I like them. There's a great variety of trees in there that we don't see very often.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you, David.
I concur. I feel like Senator Manchin here. I have so much power.
Yeah, well, it is, one of the things that we get to do is to give approvals like this, and it can make a difference to people's lives. And one of the things I try and always do is make sure that we are doing developments in the best interests of the community, and trying to encourage developments wherever we can and make it possible. So I think, Mark, you have your approval.
Well, thank you.
I will write this up. There is, I think implicitly, you have agreed that you're going to pay a fee of $225 per tree. I'm going to put in the notes that we think 75% of that should be paid before you start work into the project and so on. But I'm going to leave that up to David Riggs to deal with as the administrative representative, if you like, of the tree commissioner, so exactly how he's going to collect that fee, because that's not something that the tree commission get involved with.
Okay.
But I think that was a consensus of the meeting last time, that there should be the fee should be established right at the beginning, and that a proportion of that should be paid up front, if you like, or in the early stages of the development. Do you have any more questions for us, Mark or Chuck?
I don't. Ann, or Chuck?
No, I don't have any additional questions. I appreciate working with the committee here, and look forward to doing a nice project there in Athens.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it being completed. I think it, as my colleague David Sinkoff said, you've got a great selection of trees there. Look forward to them all growing well.
Well,
thank you all very much.
Likewise, and I presume with this that we're in a timely enough fashion that this will help with the Planning Commission's final decision to get them to be able to move along?
I would assume so, yes. Yeah, I mean, I will not, I don't see David Riggs in our meeting tonight, but I'll be sending him an email summarizing what we've approved tonight.
Excellent.
And so he will be the point of contact, I think, for you to go to if you've got questions about what the next steps are.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much, David, and your commission. Appreciate your time.
Okay. All right. Thank you for attending. Okay. I'm just trying to clear my screen. Let me stop sharing.
I can say goodbye, right?
You can say goodbye, yes.
Take care, all.
Right, thank you. I'm trying to find my agenda. Where's my agenda gone? Agendas, here it is. Okay. We're moving then into the maintenance of the tree canopy. So this is item 3. This is our point at which we ask for plans or comments on plans. All I can say is I still haven't got a detailed plan of where we can plant trees along the East State Street near to Menards, but I think we've already got enough sites to keep us busy in terms of the potential trees coming from Menards. I guess this might be a useful time to bring in the quote that Roxanne got from Five Springs Nursery about installing 40 trees. These would be installed at the West State Street Ballpark and the park at Carroll Road on the south side. I think we should take this more as an example of what can be done. Did you all get a copy of this, by the way?
Yes, I looked at it, and I think it's a reasonable quote, and I like how he broke it down to the 3 potential scenarios.
Okay.
Whether he has to pick up the trees, etc.
Yeah, I think that was good. Yeah. So I think we'll just use this as an example and see if the city will actually go with it. I mean, this is the big question.
Very fair prices. The cheapest around. I couldn't believe that he was offering to do that for those costs.
Yeah.
And his follow along in the past has been very good. You know, if he's replaced trees as needed, and in this for this price, he'll look after them for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I think as I say, I think it's a very good starting point for this whole process.
Could I ask, are you all
Sure.
okay with the West State Street, the idea of planting there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we've got sites everywhere. I don't mind. It's not. I just want to get some of these trees planted and to get the obstacles out of the way. Learn what the difficulties are going to be, because at the end of the day, if Mason is charging this sort of much money for a tree that's basically free to the city, then I'll be charging enough when we say $225 for buying for essentially buying your way out of planting a tree. And I think we're going to have to learn this as we go along.
Well, and I really picking that site was just because it's good soil.
Mm-hmm.
It used to have a lot of trees, and it's uniform ownership, for most of it. So we trying to pick easy sites at first.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I think these are two good sites. And as I said, I could find places for 100 trees without thinking very hard, I'm afraid. We've got lots of places along the bike path. We've got lots of places along East State Street. We could fill in trees along many of the streets in the Far East Side. So it's not going to be difficult. We've just got to get doing it.
David, did you get that list of trees I sent you from around my neighborhood?
I believe I did, but I haven't got it to hand at the moment.
Okay. I'm not saying to take those trees.
Thank you for reminding me, and I will look out for your list.
I can resend it if need be.
I'll let you know if I need it again. Okay. That sort of brings me to the end of this part of the agenda. Are there any other items that people want to bring up?
Yeah, David, I wanted to let you know about my walks around our neighborhood, the north side.
Oh, yeah.
Lee may have identified some sites, so she'll get those to you. But I had, to me, there's a lot of trees here, but a lot in the right-of-way need maintenance. They are full of English ivy, or some of them are dead or declining. So really need some maintenance on the right-of-way up here.
Okay.
And there are 2 areas on Court Street that don't have trees, but it's really the best I've ever seen Court Street.
Yeah.
I think we're doing okay there. Yeah. Good. That's it.
Okay. Anything else before we get into reviewing the minutes of the last meeting? If not, I'm going to bring up the minutes and share those on the screen as well. Make them a bit bigger too, if I can. There we go. So there's the minutes. So this should be the minutes of the last meeting. I can report on the Johnny Appleseed Park. I spoke to Margaret Murray, and she is planning for the garden club to remove those trees and to replace those trees. And so I'm just going to leave it with her. I gave the tree permit back to Andrew Cheeky with that reported on there that the plan was for them to remove and replace. I think those trees are small enough that they shouldn't be too difficult to remove. I also sent in the tree permits on 55 Elmwood and on 69 Elmwood as well. We've dealt with the 2 landscape plans. The maintenance of the tree canopy issues. Yes, I circulated a copy of the Menard's agreement to you all earlier this evening that I got from David Riggs. And obviously we have Mason's quote for planting those trees. I think that's pretty much all we have in the minutes. Are there any questions about any of those items?
Just one more comment about the Menards letter. It didn't seem like there's any time limit on that.
No, there isn't. I couldn't see one. No. But obviously, the longer it goes on, the more it's likely to be forgotten, and so therefore, it's probably a good idea that we've got some sites, we've got a plan to how to get them planted. Now it's a case of, can we have our trees, please? And I'm assuming that we would aim. Is this correct, Anne? That we'd be thinking of planting the trees at West State Street in the fall?
That'd be great if we can. Yeah. Kind of what we thought.
Yeah, because I think we're too late now to be thinking.
Oh yeah,
in the spring. Yeah.
It's the demand for trees across the United States is just a record-setting highs right now, and there's not the supply. So it's going to be hard to get things that we want. So be prepared, for substitutions and so maybe smaller specimens.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
Thank you, Jim. And David, would you mind seconding that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you very much.
Don't want to hold up progress.
Okay. Right. And so are there any objections to approving the minutes? Hearing none, we have minutes. And Peter, I can see you lurking there. It's is this going to be your last tree commission meeting? Are you?
It will be, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for your help over the time you've been on council. Do you know if the council will be appointing somebody to replace you?
I asked that question today. I'm going to have a conversation with Chris Nisley tomorrow, and we're going to try to puzzle that out.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think right now it kind of hinges on who's devoted to what, and just looking at that. But yeah. I would think it'd be a disservice if we lost this connection. So we need to really.
And even if it was only a temporary one, I think perhaps the council person Chris Putfall might be a good suggestion for this, as she's been quite heavily involved in some of the issues around this. But I'll leave that to you and the council president to figure out what they want to do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and thank you for your service. Okay, if there's nothing else, I think we are adjourned, and we'll meet again in May. I believe it's May 13th.